In this tutorial video, I'll be covering the Events keypad. This is this area right here. This is perhaps the most uniquely designed functionality in Intrepid software. And the reason I say that is because with one click, you can move pretty much any body to any house, sign, degree, backwards and forwards. I'll show you lunations, eclipses, and even planetary returns, all with one click, all without having to change any deeply embedded setting in the software. You do it right here on the main screen. So to get started here with the Events keypad, you can see here that we have 8 different lunar phases represented by the graphical glyph here. And the 4 to the left are grouped to be before the current time shown in Intrepid. So with the transit chart, we see here that the time of this outer wheel, this transit wheel, is 21 March 2013. So if I were to click on any of these buttons, we would be going backwards in time. So I might want to find the new moon prior to this moment. And if I click on this new moon glyph, there it is, March 11, 2013. And from that point, if I wanted to find the preceding full moon, then I would click there and it would go back to 25 February. And here you would see moon opposite sun for that full moon. Likewise, we could also be using them in forward direction. So from this point here, 18 January 2013, I might wish to find the next new moon. And there it is, 21 Aquarius. And then after that, the full moon. There's my full moon. Then after that, the next new moon. Here's the next new moon. And you can click on these for as long as you want, and you can be seeing the progression and the degree progression of new and full moons, or even quarter moons. Moving down the panel here, we also have eclipses. This will find both solar and lunar eclipses, both prior to the now time shown on the transit wheel, whatever that would be, or on the next time on the transit wheel, based on the transit wheel time. So by clicking, for example, next, I just found the next eclipse, and here this shows a lunar eclipse where the sun in relative proximity to the nodes, the moon in relative proximity to the node here in an exact full moon. The next control you have is to jump the chart to any aspect. So let's say I wanted to find the next time Mars formed a square with Jupiter. So I call up those glyphs and I click outer to outer. This will find the next time transiting Mars squares transiting Jupiter. Outer means the outer wheel. And there we have it. Here is Mars at 632 Pisces. Here's Jupiter at 632 Gemini. And I can continue to click on outer to outer to find the subsequent square after that, and again, etc. Likewise, if I instead wanted to find not transiting Mars squaring transiting Jupiter, but transiting Mars squaring natal Jupiter, then I would simply keep these planetary and settings as well as the aspect, and I would click outer to inner. Moving downward, we can also look for house or sign ingresses for any body. Let's say I wanted to find Saturn's next ingress into its sign of exaltation, Libra. We'd choose Saturn, enters the sign of Libra as I just did, and here we have Saturn's ingress into cardinal Libra. Likewise, if I wanted to instead find Saturn's ingress into the 5th house, there it is, 2517 Gemini, exactly on the cusp of the 5th house of Barack Obama. In this case, I'm just using his chart as the birth chart on the inner to demonstrate the outer to inner relationship here. The next one down is even more granular. You can choose a planet, let's say Mercury. I want to find when Mercury reaches 26 degrees of Virgo and 37 minutes. So here we can look for transiting Mercury. Where would it be? Right here, 2638 Virgo. And I can click and I can continue to click on this Mercury in this degree and sign settings, and you will see that the time will jump forward in time and it will keep giving me Mercury's degree ingress, as I call them. Moving down into the last panel here, we have any of the planets, let's say Uranus. I want to find the next time Uranus returns to its natal position. So by simply clicking this button, the returns button, it will take a little time because it's an outer planet, but it very accurately then places Uranus here exactly on its birth position. Your Uranus at 2517. And if I kept clicking returns, Uranus returns, it would go the next 84 years to reach the next time it reached that degree of Leo, etc. I can also, for example, choose something a bit more closer to Earth. Let's say Venus. I can click on retrogrades. So when is the next time, with this as the starting time here, the now time, which is also shown down here in the time panel, when does the next time Venus retrograde? Simply clicking retrograde brings Venus to her retrograde station, which is right here, 19 Capricorn. And here you have the time for it. You'll notice that once I click retrograde, Intrepid immediately defaults back to goes direct. So now that I know where Venus's station retrograde is, I can also then click the same button, which now reads goes direct, and I can find her direct station, which is at 3 Capricorn. And then once I have that moment, that event cast, now I can click retrograde again. This is a very, very powerful way to quickly review upcoming or prior planetary stations, both directions. Okay. Now we also have this last button. So let's say I wanted to find Venus's return. Okay. I just found a Venus return. Venus at transiting Venus at 148 Cancer, returning to natal position. If I click last, you'll see here this setting changes which return you're looking for. So you can not only go forward, most people think of returns as upcoming in the future. This gives you the ability to choose the last. When was the last time Venus returned? And you'll see here, if we keep the setting last and we keep clicking returns, keep an eye out for this. This is May 8, 2047. If I keep clicking returns with last set, you'll see that the time keeps going backwards in time because we're finding the prior Venus return to the current moment of the chart when the search is run. Okay. And then, of course, you can always undo your last setting to go back where you just were.